Hello, welcome to Trymaze, a unboxing video this time of a binding figure, Claris L Ripstop by the artist Nadar, who has done the Sophia S. Shearing freeing figures that I've got two of and two more on pre-order. So three of them, two Sophia Shearings, one Veronica. This video will be obviously the unboxing of a binding figure, so there will be parts that will be cut out which are exposed parts that obviously can't be on YouTube, but the full length video will be up on Patreon and potentially another site. I haven't decided yet for the actual uncensored version to be uploaded if you want to watch that, but obviously this one will be obviously bits and pieces which will be covered up or whatnot for it. Unfortunately, that's the way YouTube is. On terms of the other sites like Patreon, those will be free membership, so you wouldn't have to sign up or anything. I'll be uploading them and they'll be free. I'm going to run that like that for a while at the moment, really. I think the other website I'll probably try is Ko-fi, both of them, obviously Patreon and Ko-fi, you need to require an account to make, but links for those videos will be, for those sites, or the pages will be in the description down below. And though Ko-fi allows you to obviously donate money if you wanted to, but both of them will be zero, no monthly or anything for a while at least. But yeah, if you comment, like and subscribe, especially as I'll be doing more of these videos. And my cat's just jumped up, that's his tail there. On to Simon. No, he's going up behind the camera. Oh, okay. Anyways, sorry about that, my cat is jumping all over the place. Yep, we'll get into the unboxing video, so I'll unboxing portion, and then we'll do a obviously comparison and review of the figure itself. So this is obviously from binding. It's not your bog standard like tall long one, it's a bit more, but she is kneeling down character. She was released in September of 2024, and I got her in January. And then as I did the unhaul video, the January haul video at the end of January, so I've had her for obviously a while now. I'll finally get around to unboxing her a month later in March. But yeah, so this is your typical sort of box. It's their creator's opinion one lineup or illustration, and that's the illustrator's Nadar, the artist. It's a pretty simple box. No artwork of the character on display, which most binding figures, boxes aren't. And that's obviously her in an outline, a blackout, I guess you could say, of her. But this seems to be your sort of clamshell design where the lid folds out on a hinge rather than, a separate pedestal bit. Okay, sorry about that. My cat decided to get close to the box and didn't want him getting in the way, unfortunately. So as you can see, that's the blister pack, that's her outfit. So she will be declothed, and she's bubble wrapped luckily, so that's automatically censoring some bits. And there's her ears there, so I'll get her out the blister pack. So it's a two-part box. So she's got her hair bits and a skirt. So the blister pack is just held in, looks like by compression or whatnot. Yeah, it was just compression on tops and bottoms. So that's, get that off to the side. And then I'll have to work out unboxing the figure without getting the bubble wrap off. And obviously ruining. Ooh, okay. The bubble wrap's attached to the front of the blister, so I'll have to undo her like this. Very unfortunate. Ooh. Facing away so you don't see her opie, her boobage. Black tape. I'm guessing that's to stop paint transfer and probably to censor it. How do I remove this? This is all the way around underneath around the crotch between the legs as well. So this bit is, I'll go over the different clothing items that she has, obviously since she is cast off. So this is her thong, I guess, or underwear, lower part, that'll be covering up her nether region, which looks like, yep, it just should detach. It's different, bit of a tight fit. So that's it. So that's going to be covering her, obviously, crotch area when I have her up on display. Then we've got her actual chest piece, this is the one that covers her actual boobage. So, and it is semi-translucent, which is actually a nice touch. Quite like that. So you'd be able to potentially see her nips through the front of it. So actually, I like that a lot. These are her ears, white with gold trim, and obviously a turquoise, I guess, colorway on the inside of the ears, and then one that's a slightly bent version as well. So very nice. Definitely like the colorway that they got. Turquoise, white, and gold. This is a twin hair, or her central hairpiece that goes on the back. So, or ponytail, I guess, that drips over. Semi-translucent on the tips. Very nice in terms of painting as well. And then this is her skirt, which goes around obviously over the underwear section. So depending on if I want to have her with a skirt on above, so I can have her only with this, or I can have her with this and the skirt on. I think, yep. And then if I want to have her boobage fully exposed, they do a corset which doesn't have the covers over her boobage. It'll just be going around underneath, around her chest. So I won't be using this one, obviously, but I will do later on for certain shots for the people obviously on Patreon. Okay, as you can see, I've got her obviously fully clothed now, as this is the only way I can display her on YouTube, unfortunately. But the body sculpt is extremely nice for at least when we get to the comparison later. So obviously she's very well endowed in the chest area, and the chest corset is kind of semi-translucent, as I mentioned when we went over the accessories. So it can be, yeah, you can, and it's good. I really like this sort of, you know, it's barely hiding anything from there. The white stockings are very nice. The only problem with the white stockings is you've got to be wary of is, obviously, since she has no base, there can be some discolouring on the white stockings and on potentially paint transfer as well. So you've got to take that into account. So ideally, you want to put like put on a faux fur, which I will be ordering today to put her on my shelf. But yeah, she's looking very nice. The little skirt, which is movable. This has got magnets on the sides, which can cause paint transfer. And I have seen some paint transfer when I went to do the video for Patreon and Kofi, which has her, you know, fully unclothed and partially clothed with the other corset, which has her chest fully exposed on that video. Check that out, link will be in the description down below if you want to check the uncensored figure review. But yeah, so there is magnets on the inside of the corset, which then does hold it up at least, so then obviously this doesn't fall down, which doesn't seem like it will do anyway since they cup over her breasts pretty well. But yeah, you've got a little tail as part of her underwear garment, her pantsuit, and then obviously a skirt which does move around a bit. But yeah, she looks fantastic, and I'll just go and get her, compare her to her sisters, or should I say Sophie F. Shearing, the two Sophie F. Shearing figures I got that are by the same artist who made Claris here. So as you can see, I bought my two Sophie F. Shearing quarter scales, her normal regular bunny version and her reverse bunny suit figure as well. As you can see, the face is pretty much basically identical, much closer to the reverse figure bunny, I would say, and obviously the chest area is pretty much as perky as you would expect. Maybe Claris's one is, maybe she's, you know, yeah, it's basically identical molds size wise between all of them, as you can see. So she's definitely a sister, I would say, of Sophie F. Shearing. So yeah, so the body sculpting is definitely better on the binding figure, and she is actually, I think, the same price as what I got these two, if I remember correctly. Or she might have only been slightly, she's about 40,000 yen. I think these are about 44,000 yen each as well. not including income tax, import tax in the UK. So for her price, she's actually better than these two. Obviously, with her being fully cast off, and you get a couple of extra accessories, obviously with the alternative clothing for the chest area option. But yeah, the body sculpting is a lot better. Obviously, like you've got the armpit sculpting. You've got actually a lot more shading in the skin compared to the two freeing figures, as they're pretty. There's some shading on them, but not so much. That's mainly down to the natural curves, obviously, and mold lines of the structure of the body, which just imparts some shading. Whereas this one, they've actually done, you know, some pinkening in the, like, as I said, like under the armpits is a nice touch. The face is a bit flat, as with all her faces, unfortunately. It's very pale compared to her skin tone, so that might be a thing that docks it for me personally a little bit. Maybe I just received one that didn't have very good shading in the face, compared to the freeing, at least her first bodysuit one. Her face is a lot nicer here. These do have the options of swapping heads. This, I'm pretty sure you can't remove the head. I haven't tried, I'm not going to. Don't want to damage her. I did damage her previously. I actually broke this off on the other corset and I had to super glue that back on, which is a bit of a bit of a pain. But yeah, very nice looking figure. I think definitely worth getting a hold of. So we'll do final thoughts. That's the comparison of whether this figure is worth it. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Final thoughts. As I mentioned before, with binding figures, they are generally a step above freeing, and they've pretty much always been slightly cheaper, about the same price as the freeing figures, since the freeing ones have obviously increased in price. Obviously, down to personal take, it's whether the binding obviously do a lot more OC figure designs anyways, so it's whether you like OC characters or not. I do, especially if they're from an artist that I really enjoy, like Nadar, who's definitely an amazing artist, and that's why I've fallen in love with the bodysuit planning lineup. She's definitely worth it. I don't think she's technically available anymore for pre-order. Well, she obviously this is months after, so finding her on the off market will probably be a bit tough. But I think if you do like the bodysuit planning lineup, then she's definitely worth getting to have in your collection. Like for me, since I do consider her basically a sister to Sophie of Shearing. Obviously, if you've checked out the link below, the two links below for the Patreon and Ko-fi video uploads, those will have the uncensored video of her coverage of her. If you want to see her fully in her birthday suit, definitely comment, like, and subscribe. Please comment if any improvements, if you like me doing these binding figures, and obviously doing two videos, one off YouTube, which obviously then people can look at if they want to see the full sculpt work on these style of figures. It's just something I thought I'd do. Again, those will be zero subscription for a while, until I get around to building up probably enough catalogue, and then, you know, work out how to you know, tackle that, whether those, you know, get enough traction, you know, enough people watch them, or whether enough or if people want to, they can obviously, on the Ko-fi website, you can actually do a one-time donation if you want to. But as I said, this is just me uploading my hobby at the moment, and seeing how what the community I can foster, especially since doing these more NSFW figures is a bit much harder to do, obviously, on YouTube. But I really do sort of fall in love with the NSFW figures generally. I'm a bit of a horny kind of guy, degen, I guess you could say. So yeah, and that's basically where my collection is and future pre-orders is heading to. So I'll be looking at doing this sort of much more in the future, of splitting, doing the censored version on YouTube, and then obviously links to the uncensored versions on alternative platforms. But yeah, definitely, I've got obviously quite a few more figures to do. I've got Rias, Gremory, I've got Akano as well, their second bunny versions, obviously they're cast off, so there'll be two videos as well. I've got Ingrid as well from Taming in RPG, the binding figure of that to do, and I've got Misei as well from Mahou Shoujo, Magical Girls, by Writer, the second bunny version. got to do that one as well. So I've got like 6, you know, after this one, another 5 figures to do anyways. Technically I've got 2 freeing Rias bunnies. I've got the first version as well that I managed to get on Bai, and obviously her actual second version, full freeing one. So I'll put whether I'll do this separately, I don't know yet. But definitely comment, like, and subscribe, and I shall catch you in another video. Thanks. Bye.